It is the first day of November, and so today someone will die. Hey guys, welcome to a new reading vlog. I am rereading the Scorpio races for the first time in years, and don't you guys just love this really artsy shot of me eating a really photogenic breakfast and starting my book? Just kidding. It was the day after Halloween. This is what my breakfast actually looks like. Welcome to a new vlog. So I made some progress as I was getting ready. I'm on chapter 7 as of right now, so we're like into the story and into the world. And guys, I forgot how much I love this book. It's been years since I've read this. This is one of my favorite books of all time. It's my favorite Maggie Stiefvater book, but it's just so good. So I am about to run out because I need to actually pick up a copy of Serpent and Dove because that is going to be our November pick for my book club. And for some reason, I don't have a copy of it. So I need to actually like go to a store and purchase a copy. It's been a while since I've gone to a bookstore. So most likely I'm going to buy more than just that book. That's probably what's going to happen. But I also wanted to check in because today was about to take a turn that was going to be so fitting for reading the Scorpio races and this vlog specifically, because I got a message about an hour ago from my friend who I've known for years. Like, I used to be the assistant manager in a racehorse rehoming facility, kind of. Like, we basically adopt out thoroughbred racehorses when they're done their racing career to like continue their life on. And I got a message from her asking if I was available because one of our adopters, their horse got out this morning and she needed help finding it. And I was like, well, this is incredibly stressful and anxiety inducing, just like secondhand for me, because that's happened to me. Everybody who has horses at some point has gotten that call saying, hey, your horse is loose, you need to go find it. And it's the worst feeling in the world. So I had that going, but at the same time, that is like the most perfect situation for this vlog because it's the 1st of November and it was really stormy last night. So it's very windy and crisp and cold today, which means all of you horse people kind of know where I'm going with this. Anytime you have like the first real cold, crisp fall day, your horse turns into a fire-breathing dragon. And I was like, well, this is fitting for this vlog because the vlog is about like human eating horses that come from the sea, and that's what all horses are today. So luckily, she ended up messaging me saying the state police found her and they connected with the person who found the horse and everything. So long story short, the horse is fine now, but I don't need to go on an adventure trying to catch a loose horse somewhere in my county. So good. But also, you know, that would have been some solid vlog footage for this vlog. But I'm about to go bring in the goats because they are not to be trusted when I leave the property because they also tend to escape because they're goats. They do that. So I'm going to go bring them inside and head off to Books A Million. Come on, guys. Hey, Merlin. Rue, you coming? Hey, buddy. Good morning. Alrighty, we are back, and that was a smashing success, as in I didn't buy a whole bunch of full price books that I did not need. So like, huge pat on the back for me. I'm trying to like block the sun because this is like blindingly bright sitting in the parking lot here. But let's flip this around and see what we've got. So of course, I've got the book that I came for, obviously. I almost didn't find it. They didn't have it on the shelves. It was all on like their like new release, like best-selling table type thingies. But then I found this. Oh god, this is great vlogging. I got Through the Woods by Emily Carroll because this is a book that I've seen a lot of people talking about specifically recently because it's supposed to be like spooky horror graphic novel. But again, graphic novels I have a really hard time paying like a ton of money for. So it was used for a whopping $6. Like, hello. And they had like a brand new one sitting on the shelf next to it for like $20. And I was like, I will take the used one. Thank you very much. So that was fairly successful. And now I can go home and, mark this one up, like break it down for the reading schedule for November. So I'm very excited for this. But it is now lunchtime and I have the hunger. So while I'm out, I think I'm gonna treat myself to Chipotle. because I don't come out by myself very often. I feel like a big part of what people don't talk about as like a downside of being in a relationship is like it's very rare that you get to like go get fast food or go get food for just yourself. Like it's always a 2-meal purchase. So Randy's working today, so I think I'm gonna go get Chipotle by myself and not tell him, ha ha ha, except he'll watch this video and know that I got Chipotle. It's fine, that's normal, but I'm in the area. So I'm gonna go get myself a bowl, and I'm so excited. I've got the goods. I also just found an audiobook for Scorpio races, so I'm gonna pop that on for my ride home, and then I'm gonna eat some Chipotle and continue to read. It's gonna be a glorious day, guys. Okay, I am home. I have eaten. I've taken a spontaneous nap because that's how my life goes nowadays on my days off from work. But I have made some progress. I am on chapter 17 of the beloved Scorpio races. Guys, I freaking love this book. Like, I forgot how great it was. Obviously been a really long time since I read it, but I just like forgot how good and horsey it is. And the entire time that I'm reading it, I'm relating it obviously to all of my life experiences because I've been riding horses my entire life pretty much since I was like 6 or 7. And I relate this is like a weird mixture of things. And I feel like I'm coming into this book with a whole new set of experiences to compare all of these things to than when I read it like 7 or 8 years ago whenever I read it. And it's just so cool to like have completely different perspective now than when I read it the first time. So since the first time I've read it, I was an assistant barn manager at a thoroughbred rehab facility, which in case you guys aren't like horse people, thoroughbreds, specifically like baby racehorses, are renowned for being, how do I put this? I feel like thoroughbreds are kind of like the pit bulls of the horse world. They just have a bad reputation. A lot of barns won't accept thoroughbreds if you're looking to board your horse somewhere, just because they're renowned for being spooky and dangerous and sometimes aggressive or flighty. Like, they just have a lot of bad rap around them. So while I disagree with that stereotype completely, because I've had a thoroughbred, I've worked with thoroughbreds for years and stuff now, they have the reputation that these horses have, the Kapel Ishka, or however you say it. And I'm just like kind of chuckling to myself every time they like compare this horse to like this crazy beast, because I feel like that's how thoroughbreds are viewed nowadays. But I like that they also mention thoroughbreds in the book. Like, they talk about it in the stables, like they have thoroughbreds there, they have sport horses and stuff. So that's a funny little side note thing that I have for this book. But the setting of this book is obviously, to me, it's kind of an Irish island type of setting. Like, it's definitely a small town island setting, but it feels very Celtic to me, and I think it's supposed to, based on like the language and the type of culture. But for me, this is a combination of Chincoteague, like Assateague, Chincoteague Island, just because I live in that area, so I associate all like horses coming out of the ocean with Chincoteague ponies, because they do the swim every year where they swim all of the herd across the bay and sell them or auction them, basically population maintenance. And it's a huge thing in this part of the world, but it's like this huge like cultural thing where everybody comes to see the horses come out of the water. And I feel like that's what's happening in this book, but like with demon horses versus like ponies. So I'm comparing it to that, but I'm also comparing it to my friend that I mentioned earlier, sent me the message that I worked with at the thoroughbred facility. She's the main director and owner of the business. She's a crazy horse lady. Like, I adore her to pieces. She's around my age, but she just does like the craziest experiences that you can with horses. And I envy her so much because I don't think I would ever do half of the things that she's done. But there's a thing called the Mongol Derby. And if you guys have never heard of it, I doubt you guys have heard of it, because even me, who is like saturated in the horse world, had never heard of it until she started researching it and competed in it. The Mongol Derby is the longest, most deadly horse race in the world. Like, look it up. I will leave a link to the Adventurous website down below. It's basically a huge, like, week-long race across the steppe of Mongolia on wild, feral, dangerous horses. And I feel like that's what this book is now. And I feel like reading this book now, after seeing my friend go through this entire experience, that's essentially like the closest thing in the real world that you can relate to this story. And it's crazy because of like all the training that you go through, all of the like breaking of the horses that you see in this book, where the people like have caught these wild seahorse things and are starting to try and ride them and get through that, is what she went through, because you literally have to catch these wild horses in the steppe in the middle of nowhere and ride them, and half the people don't make it through the race. And it was just like, now I have all these weird experiences that I can relate to the story. So I have this weird hybrid of like Chincoteague Pony Swim, where it's like little tiny cute ponies, and the like crazy dangerous Mongolian ponies. They're all little horses. Wild horses are all kind of small. So if you take those to combine them and then blow them up to these crazy demon monster horses, that's what this book is. And now I feel like I have so many more life experiences to relate to it, and I'm getting so much more out of it. It's so great. I just love that Maggie Stiefvater is a horse person, because everything in this is like true and accurate, and like actual like coat colors and tack name, and like all of the information is just like what horse people look for in books, where like that's how you feed horses, and that's how you ride horses, and that's how you train them. Like when he talks about the round pen training, where they had to build like an underground round pen for these wild horses, because obviously just putting them in like a flimsy gated round pen wouldn't contain them. And I'm like, this is so great. These are all things that I personally would think of, but not everybody else who would be writing like a YA fantasy story. So I'm just loving it. That's where I am. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this today. The goal is to read all the way through it today. I might extend this vlog into tomorrow, just because I have a feeling that I'm probably gonna get about halfway through this and I'm gonna need to stop and do some stuff. Like I do have to edit some videos tonight and upload. And you know, I should probably pay attention to Randy when he gets home from work instead of just ignore him, but we'll see how that goes. No, I'm just kidding. We're probably gonna go buy discount Halloween candy, because I resisted doing that while I was out on my own, but that's kind of a tradition that we have. Does anybody else do that? Wait until the day after Halloween and then you go buy all of the cheap candy that's left over on the shelves? Just us? Cool. So I have Cricket here with me. I'm gonna read for a little bit longer. I'll show you guys Cricket because she's just like bathing herself right now. I'll give her some privacy. So we'll see how far I can get. I will check in with you guys probably later tonight. Is this the most flattering angle ever? I think so. Do not eat my bookmark. Well, okay, you guys can just watch Cricket. I'll be off on the side here. So this, I think, is going to be my last check-in for today. I was hoping to read this entire book today, but I actually ended up doing, you know, like adult things like health insurance and whatnot. Am I out of focus? Can you, like, focus on me? I don't know if this is in focus. I can't see. I'm not there. I am. Hey. So like I was saying, I think this is going to be my last check-in for today. I was hoping to read this entire book today, but I ended up doing things. We're just going to do that. Okay. I ended up doing more things than I thought I was going to do today. I thought I was going to be real lazy and literally just sit around and read this all day, but I was feeling like somewhat productive, and you need to take advantage of that when that happens, because it's rare. But I am, where am I? I am on chapter 28. That's where I am. So I'm like almost halfway through the book, and I feel like once you hit the race in this book, it like goes crazy fast. So I am steadily approaching that point. So I think that's going to be probably what I end up reading, probably going to bed tonight, and early tomorrow morning. I feel like I get a lot of my reading done in the morning now. It's weird. So I'm going to turn this into, well, I guess it could technically still be a 24-hour readathon, because I didn't start this until like 10. So it's fine. We're approaching from a different angle. Okay. So that's going to be it for my check-in for today. I'm going to go bring the kids in, because it's getting dark out, because daylight savings time is happening tomorrow. And I'm gonna, I guess, enjoy it being daylight out at, like, 6, because that doesn't happen anymore this year, and I'm sad. So I'm gonna go bring the kids in, and I will check in with you guys probably tomorrow, because I'm probably gonna do stuff tonight that is not book-related. Alrighty, see you guys in the morning. How's my own little water pony, huh? Are you very deadly? I don't think so. How are you, buddy? Starving? Same. Hey guys, so it is the next morning now, and I am here to report some progress. I read up to chapter 33, so I am like at almost the exact halfway point, and the race starts, I believe, tomorrow. And I just want to check in because I feel like I haven't like talked about like the book at all, like what's happening in the book, and I'm trying to keep this spoiler free, so it's hard to like discuss things in the book without spoiling anything. But obviously you guys all know the basic premise of the story, where we're set on like an island town where like these demon horses come out of the sea every year, and the people on the island catch some and train them and race them in the Scorpio races. That's like the basic premise. And I just reached the point of like the festival before the races start. And I just love that Steve Otter somehow managed to create this entire historical culture in like a fantasy setting in such a short amount of time. I'm only on, I'm like 200 pages in. So in 200 pages, she's managed to create this entire environment and town and village and type of people who have their own prejudices and their own controversies and their own like cliques and types of people and everything in such a short amount of time, and you just already feel immersed in the town and like you know people, you know who to watch out for and stuff. And I feel like that just speaks volumes for her writing, and I just love it. Also, Sean Kendrick is like one of my OG book boyfriends because boy can ride a horse, and I appreciate that. I'm just a big fan because we just had the scene where he and Puck raced for the first time for him to kind of like see what she has in her, if she should ride one of the demon horses, the Kapelishka. And I just kind of love the rivalry between them, but also, you know, like the tension. And I really like that it's not in your face romantic tension between them. They just happen to be two people who don't really know each other, who are involved in the same type of thing, and they just form a mutual respect for each other. And I just love it. I love Sean. I love reading it from both his and Puck's perspectives, and I just am enjoying it a lot. I also really, really like that Puck truly believes in and rides in her little island pony versus these crazy, huge, fast, demonic horses. I just like that. I feel like that's like the underdog story, but she's putting the faith in like the animal type of underdog story, not like yes, she is the underdog, but I just like that the horses are the main characters. I don't know. I just love this book so much. So I just wanted to check in. This was originally supposed to be like a 24-hour readathon, but I think it's just going to stretch until I finish the book, which will probably be tonight, to be honest. But I do have a lot of videos that I need to get filmed today. This is a very rare occurrence that I have 2 days off in a row, and I just didn't really do a whole lot yesterday. You guys saw my entire day yesterday. It wasn't very eventful, and it was quite lovely, to be honest. And I ended up watching The Last Jedi last night with Randy, which was super pleasant because I haven't seen that probably since we saw it in theaters, and that's such a great movie. So today's the day that I need to get shit done. So I have a whole list of like household things that I need to do and videos that I need to film. So this is just me checking in to let you guys know that I'm up, that I have made some progress, and the races are about to start, but I'm gonna put the book down for right now and do the things that I need to get done today, and then probably pick it back up tonight. I'm gonna go do some stuff, and I'll talk to you guys at that point. It is so much later than I planned on checking in to finish out this vlog, but I just finished the Scorpio races. And guys, this book is so freaking good. Like, I knew that I was nervous to reread this because I had it like kind of up on a pedestal in my head, and like I said, it's been years since I read this. I think this came out in 2011 or 2012, and that's when I read it the first time, and I haven't read it since. And since then, I've had so much more experience with horses, with dangerous horses, in barns, in a training facility, in like all of the things that are brought up in this, and I feel like I was partially worried that it wasn't going to live up to my like memory of how great it was because of how, I don't want to say how old it is because it's not actually that old, but like just how far YA has evolved since this time period that this came out in, and because of my experience that I was worried that it was going to change my perspective of like it not being realistic. But then I remember that Maggie Stiefvater is a horse person and can do no wrong and is amazing. So this honestly is better than I remember it being, and it's going to remain in like my top books. Like, you know when somebody asks you like what's your favorite book and you're like, impossible question, but you have a running list of like 5 to 10 titles that you always think of. This is in it forever. And I think I'm now going to reread this every November 1st, and it's going to be like part of like my new holiday time traditions, because everything between Halloween and Christmas is just like holiday time, and that's when I like make all of the holiday food, that's when I make all of the holiday memories and do all of the holiday things. This, I think, is going to be incorporated into that because I love it that much. So needless to say, this is still a 5-star read for me, and I am so happy that I reread it and that it lived up to everything that I remember it being and more. And it was just such a great experience. Now I need to go pet my pony and go sit in a barn for a while and listen to him eat hay. Because if you're a horse person, you know that's the most soothing sound in the entire world. Just listen to horses munch on hay. So I think I'm gonna do that. So thank you guys for coming along on this journey with me with reading this and doing all of the things that I did over the past day and a half. So that's gonna be it for this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video.